stuff. I just want to say from the get-go, Gold Coaching have the best Croydon Sunday League support I've ever seen. It's absolutely amazing.
They're loud, but yeah, that's what we're about, isn't it? Just kind of up for a good time. And to be fair, that final that you came down, that was it. They showed up there. The twos weren't playing, so we had loads of them down. But no, it was good. It was good.
No, brilliant. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and also Gold Coaching?
Yeah, so I know we've spoken before about how kind of we set up, but so I set up the business. So we got the coaching business side of it, and then we got the football side. I set up the business on the back of one of our mates passing away. And it was kind of the final conversation that we had. He's like, yeah, just do it. And then obviously you don't think anything of it until you start thinking, oh, what was the last thing we spoke about? And it was about me setting up a business and whatnot. So we started the business side of it. And then on the back of that, we started the football team just to kind of keep everyone together and get everyone talking again. Because obviously we used to all play football on a Friday evening while we were at school. And then you go and do your thing. I was at uni at the time, second year of uni. And then, it takes something big to kind of get everyone back together. But on the back of something tragic, we've managed to get something going for 5-6 years. And yeah, here we are. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
And if you don't mind me asking, how did your friend's passing affect you?
Obviously, devastated. It's like we were all close. There's loads of us in kind of group. And we used to all go play football and everything else. But it was, you don't really think about it until it happens, and then you're like, oh damn, because everyone says it. You know what I mean? He was so happy and chirpy and just always up for a laugh. And then when another one of my mates called while I was on the bus to work, and he was like, oh yeah, hate your pass. And it was like, oh damn, you know what I mean? It just kind of, and then you go back, like I say, thinking, because I saw him 2 weeks before he passed. So you start thinking what on earth has happened in them 2 weeks? So obviously it was longer in the 2 weeks. There was more going on, but he just held it so well. But yeah, you don't really think about it. But then from that, like I say, we tried to spin it a little bit around and go, okay, this is tragic. How can we try and ensure that this doesn't happen again to anyone else? Because I don't want to be on the bus again getting another phone call about someone else. So yeah, it was hard. It's hard. It was hard for everyone. And like I say, you don't really think about it. But then when we were all sat at his funeral and you're looking around and everyone's in floods of tears, and it just kind of, it's like, if only we could do something about it. But obviously it was too late. So that's where kind of Gold Coaching and our side of it comes in, where it's like, right, let's go and try and bring people together to really try and make sure that we're not getting another phone call saying someone else has gone. But no, so it was tough. It was tough for everyone. But like I say, we're trying to make good of it, and because he's just a legend. So if we can kind of keep on his legacy a little bit and doing some bits and bobs, then maybe we can shine a bit of a light. But yeah, no.
How important is it for men to literally talk about their trauma and also talk about their achievements as well? Because literally it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, no, massively. I mean, everyone still finds it hard. Even myself, with asking my mates questions, even after everything that's happened, there's still that kind of, I don't know if it's a bit of awkwardness or I don't know what it is, but it's so important because I mean, everywhere shows, all the charities show that just by talking about it, it makes it so much better. And it does. Quite often, it comes out in the worst time. So after a beer or, I don't know, it's awkward, isn't it? As a bloke, it shouldn't be that awkward. But yeah, it is so important. Just saying something, and quite often it's blurting it out, and we'll hound each other, and it's you still hold it in, and then you just kind of blurt it out, and it comes out in ways it shouldn't. But yeah, it's so important to just obviously speak up and just say, do you know what, I'm flagging a bit here, like I'm having a bit of a rough one. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know why it's so awkward. And like me and my mates, we're all super super close. We can talk about anything. But when it comes to your mental health and everything else, it's just I don't know. It's still got that little bit of a awkwardness around it, and obviously that's why we're trying to change the way we do things. And this is obviously why we're jumping on board with the little tournament that you've got coming on. Because yeah, we're always learning, and as young, we're all what 25, 26, 23, some of the younger lads. So we're still fairly young. So we're still trying to learn how to go about it. But nah, yeah, I don't know. It's awkward, but it shouldn't be awkward, and that's what we're trying to kind of get through that barrier, because we are just normal blokes. You know what I mean?
What I loved about the cup final that you took part in, I mean, you know, first and foremost, it was an amazing game. But afterwards, you know, all of your supporters were in the bar or outside, and like they were all having their own individual conversations. Like no one left.
Yeah.
And literally, it's just something that you've cultivated, and you know, it's something that you've created.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something we're massive on, is trying to get everyone down to. We go down to the Pearly Arms in South Croydon. And our thing is, go down for one. I know everyone's super, super busy and whatnot, but just go. We'll do the man of the match and we'll do all of that. But it just gives an extra little bit for people to talk. And they might not be talking about their mental health. They might just be catching up, but just having them different conversations and go, because someone will go, oh, how's your week been? And then it's not always, oh, it's rough. Do you know what I mean? It'll be, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. But yeah, everyone stays for either a beer or just a drink, just to trying to keep it going. Especially if you lose, it's the worst thing, going home and just stewing. But it's just so important to try and keep everyone together and keep that conversation going. Like I say, it doesn't always have to be how are you mentally and all that, but it just gives an extra chance for people to speak. Because quite often everyone's so busy, they don't actually get a chance to catch up. And you see them at a party or whatever, and there's so much going on, you don't actually get to catch up. So just having that extra half hour to mess around and just talk, get conversations going, is massively important. And I think that's why, as a club, we're doing okay. We've got 2 teams, and yes, we might not be winning everything, but we're growing that kind of community. And I think it is from the little bits, like you say, staying behind and having a beer and having a chat, because otherwise you just get annoyed with the results, and then that's it. That's when it all starts going wrong.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of mentioned briefly that you are kind of taking part in a football tournament called What's Your Story? And again, Niall, thank you kind of so like much for kind of getting involved. Why did you want to get involved in the football project?
I mean, like I say, off everything that happens, the kind of mental health side is massive. And like I say, we're massive for talking about it, but then it's very hard to take action. Like I said, it's still an awkward thing or whatever it is. So it's a good way for us to learn a bit, and hopefully the lads that turn up and go to the tournament for us, hopefully they'll learn a little bit as well, and it will just, again, it keeps that conversation going. And anything to do with the mental health side, we want to try and jump on board. But it's all well and good saying, oh yeah, we support mental health and all of this, but you've got to go and take some action. So it was kind of a good time for us to go, do you know what? Let's go into it. Let's put ourselves forward so we can put some blokes into it. And however many people turn up, if we get 10 people turning up, if they all learn one thing or take one thing away from, because obviously it's not just the tournament, it's the talking side of it and everything else. So if they can all take one thing away and bring it back to the club, then everyone's better for it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it should. We're looking forward to it. It should be a good day, mate.
Yeah.
It gives an opportunity for us to not just speak about it, but actually put into action. Yes, we are trying to actively help each other out and help everyone else out that we come across and whatnot.
And what's your kind of one bit of advice to like anyone that's like struggling or literally is crying out for any type of help?
I'd say, I mean, everyone says it, but talk. And like I say, it's so hard to start the conversation. So it's not so much a message for those that are struggling, because it's go and talk. If you go and talk, it'll be 10 times better. But it's so hard to just put your hand up and go, do you know what, I'm having a stinker here. So it's more on friends and family and everyone else. Just ask, how are you? And I got a good bit of advice a couple of years ago, and it was ask, how are you, twice. So whenever, I try to always ask, how are you? So it's, how are you? Yeah, good, blah. But then, yeah, how are you? How are you actually doing? What's going on? And it's more that, because it's very hard. I'm someone that I'll never put my hand up and go, I'm struggling. I'll never just blurt it out, because that's not my thing. I should, do you know what I mean? But I know that's not how it works for me. So I know that's not how it works for everyone else as well. So it's more check up on people, just ask how they are. And then I've started asking them, how are you mentally? Because people take, how are you, twice, and they go, yeah, grand. And I go, okay, how are you mentally? And then you can kind of, if you just keep kind of poking, eventually, especially when you've got people that are really, really kind of reserved and don't want to let anything go, they keep all their cards to their chest. It's like, no. If you keep as a friend, if you're close to your friend and you keep poking, eventually they'll go, yeah, do you know what, this is winding me up, or so and so, this has happened and it's playing on my mind, or whatever. So it's more, obviously, if you're struggling, talk, but for your pals and everyone else, check up. Because like I say, the worst thing is getting that phone call and then you go, oh, damn, it's too late. So it's just talk as much as you can, but ask, be straight up and direct about it. Just, how are you mentally? And then they can, if they turn around and go, yeah, do you know what, fantastic, perfect, that's the best news you can get. But if they turn around and go, oh, actually, it might lead into something, and then that's how the conversation starts going forward properly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. Honestly, now and absolute beacon of light. Not only in Croydon, not only in Southeast, but across London. And you know, literally, we've like spoken like a few times, and I know what the club means to you and to what it means to the fans. So so again, honestly, thank you so much. And again, let me just repeat myself. Gold Coaching, the best Sunday League football fans in Croydon. Facts. Let me just repeat that. So honestly, thank you so much. And literally, if anyone wants to know a little bit more about Gold Coaching, what are your socials?
Just Gold Coaching, I think, on everything. I think that is literally what it is. We're only really on Instagram and Facebook, but I'm rubbish with the technology, so we don't really use it unless something pops up. But no, yeah, Gold Coaching, and hopefully maybe this will inspire me to do a bit more on the socials. Maybe a few spotlights on the players and whatnot, just to give them something, because everyone likes a little bit of a shout out, don't they? So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Gold Coaching on everything.
100%. And literally all of your details will literally be in the show notes below. Thank you, Niall, for like coming on. If like anyone has been affected, there's literally going to be some more details of like charities that you can contact. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys real soon.